Okay, welcome back. Uh, I did a video a day or two ago looking at the largest electoral vote margin that I could see Biden winning by. So now I'm going to do the same thing for Trump. So basically, just saying if everything went right from here until November, for Donald Trump, that is, then how large a margin could he win by? Could he win at all? So we're going to look at that right now. So I will put the safe states in. For this one, since we're looking at the Trump best case scenario, I am gonna, I'll come back to Virginia and New Mexico. I'm not gonna fill those in right away as safe states for Biden. So, okay, that should take care of it. So, if we start by looking at the states that Donald Trump could easily win: Texas, Missouri, Indiana, Nebraska. These are states that aren't really going to be that close. I left them blank just to show that maybe there would be a little competition. But in a scenario where Trump is, really popular, then those aren't even going to be in contention. Virginia and New Mexico might be in play a little bit if Donald Trump was in an ideal scenario like the one I'm looking at. But I don't think he'll win those either way. Now, in terms of Clinton states that he could win, yeah, I don't know. He could definitely still retain Georgia, North Carolina, Florida, Ohio, Iowa. So these are states that he won in 2016. I think they might still be narrower in 2020, even in a Trump best case scenario. If this were a different candidate, a Trump best case scenario could really look like a modern day landslide. But no matter what happens at this point, this total is not going to get as high as Biden's could, theoretically, just because Biden is he's probably the best candidate for the Democrats in terms of just getting Trump out of office. Biden definitely is the most popular, and I do think he'll be the most successful in the general election. I think he would have, I don't think Sanders or Warren could have done better than Biden could have. Not that they couldn't have won, but I definitely think that if we're looking at a Trump best case scenario, again, the total could be larger for Trump if it were one of those other candidates. But it's not. It's Biden. So that's why this isn't going to be so, So for Arizona, he could definitely still win Arizona. I think he probably will win Arizona, even, not just in a best case scenario for him. I still don't see necessarily Biden winning. Now in the Senate, that's an interesting story, but this isn't about the Senate. So, yeah, Biden could win Arizona theoretically, but in a best case scenario for Trump, it's definitely still a state Trump could win. He could definitely still carry Wisconsin. Um, you know, yeah, he could definitely carry Wisconsin. I think it was in the Rust Belt, it was the largest margin of victory Trump had. Michigan was really narrow. Pennsylvania has a higher population, I think, but I'm pretty sure Wisconsin gave him a larger margin, or at least percentage-wise it did, and he didn't win Minnesota. So, speaking of Minnesota, I still don't think he would win Minnesota. I don't think he would win Colorado or Maine at large. Again, we're talking about Biden. We're not talking about a less popular candidate or a very, very controversial candidate. So I don't know. He could probably still carry Pennsylvania. I don't think he could carry Michigan. Even in a best case scenario, I think it's really unlikely that he would win Michigan against Biden. Nevada, still probably a Biden state. Now, he could probably still carry the second district in Maine, like he did in 2016. I don't know. Biden could definitely win that one. New Hampshire, yeah, I don't know about New Hampshire either. I think it's possible that he could win, I guess, but I still think it'll be a Biden state. And if you look at 2016, Clinton still carried New Hampshire. It was really, really close, but she still won New Hampshire, and Biden's much more popular than her. That's why I didn't have any Clinton states flipping for Trump, because if Clinton was able to win them, being the very unpopular candidate she was, then how would Biden lose those states? So yeah, that basically sums it up. So, yeah, 290 is the largest margin I have for Donald Trump. You could definitely argue New Hampshire. You could argue Michigan. Maybe you could even argue Nevada or Minnesota. But honestly, right now, I really don't think that Donald Trump could win those states. So, yeah, that sums up my prediction for the largest margin of victory that Trump could realistically have.